Proceeding with our project, in this class we will learn how to configure and insert the boards that will make up the floor of the structure. The plates are important so that the equipment in the structure can be safely reached by the workers. To add them to the structure, we launch the Plate command in the Parts field of the Structure tab. Check the box displayed by Plant 3D to configure the cards to be inserted. In the Type field, we can choose whether the board will be a grid, selecting grading, or a solid board, selecting plate. In Standard Material, we determine the pattern that will be used for inserting the plate, which influences the material code and the thickness available to choose from. If in the first field we choose Grid, new fields appear in the dialog box to determine the appearance of the grid that will be placed in the 3D structure. The Hatch Pattern field defines the profile used in the grid, and is similar to the common AutoCAD hatch. The Hatch Scale field defines the density of the profile that will be placed in the structure. Next, we must set the desired orientation for the grid or board, choosing between top, top, middle, middle, or bottom, bottom. Thus, if we select a line as a reference and enable the top orientation option, Plant 3D draws the board or grid below the selected reference line. If we enable middle, the board will be positioned so that the reference line divides it in half. If we enable bottom, the board or grid will be positioned above the selected line. The insertion method is set to shape. Choosing new rectangular, the insert is very simple. We should just click on 2 points that form a diagonal and then the plant creates a rectangular profile. Choosing new polyline, insertion requires a little more work, as Plant expects us to select each point by creating a polyline. This type allows us to create a more complex profile, but we can also use straight lines. With existing polyline, we can use an existing polyline, which can be an arc or a curve with complex geometry. We create a layer for the boards and grids. Now let's insert them into the structure. Watch. Inserted to grids and plates, we can modify their properties. Note that the Structure Edit command does not work for plates. We access the Properties window by right-clicking on the board or grid and selecting the Properties option. We can still use the grips of AutoCAD to modify the size and position of the plates, just as we did for the bodyguards and profiles. See that the location of the grips of the plates is somewhat different. We have a grip in one of the corners, which allows you to move the board. And we have grips on the sides, which allow you to modify the size of the plate in the X and Y directions. Here we finish this lesson, where we learn how to insert and configure boards and grids for use in floors of the structure we are developing.